Hello, listeners. For this special episode, we are doing a season 1 wrap-up. We're going to kind of hit on the books that we DNF'd that actually didn't make it into the podcast or finished reading in our buddy reads, and then rank all of the books from season 1 from least favorite to top favorite. So that's what you're in for on this episode. And we're going to start off with the DNFs.
Yep.
Which DNF stands for did not finish. And the first one on the series is the Bay Falls series. So, wasn't that by like Jackson something?
Oh yeah, we probably should have pulled here.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Jackson Kidman.
Okay.
The Bay Falls High series. Sorry.
Yep. So this series
book is a lie.
So there's 3 books in like with the original group, and then I think it continues with a different gal. I got to I think I was halfway through book 2 when I finally gave up and couldn't read anymore. And I think you actually finished it, or at least
I did finish
it.
I did finish it.
Yeah.
But I only did the first trilogy.
Yes. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I was super excited because I thought it was going to be a reverse harem, but it turned out to not be a reverse harem, and that pissed me off. Is this the one where she runs into the tree?
Yes.
Okay,
and that's literally the only thing that kept us going for me, like the first 1.5 books. And then I was like, oh my God, I just need to know why she ran into a tree at this point. Like, I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, I was upset because this is classified as a reverse harem and it is a lie. And if you lie to me, then we have problems. So I was very upset she only ends up with one of the guys at the end. It was just, no, just don't. This is why I only kept on reading it because I was like, when are they all going to get together? And we wanted to know why she crashed into the tree, right? Because there was like a prologue or foreshadowing of that. And it was, no.
Yeah.
Just no.
There was no redeeming quality in, like, the spice was non-existent / not good. The guys were irritating. She was so redundant. Like, she kept saying the same things over and over. I just couldn't. I am not a bully in a romance lover anyway. So this was like, I was done.
This I think is the one, and I hope we're not bashing the wrong series, or at least I'm not bashing. This is the one where it's like it's new adults, so they're they're in the final year of high school, but it's this criminal organization or secret society or whatever, and these teenagers are making these grand life decisions for the town and the population and the society and all the things, and that's great. But then they have this one moment where they become fucking stupid and they make a stupid decision. And I'm pretty sure this is the one where his mom's like, you cannot bring her. You have to bring the other girl. And what does he do? He calls his mom and says, oh, I'm not bringing her. I'm bringing so-and-so. And when they're supposed to have the element of surprise because they're trying to catch her or like whatever. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Absolutely not. Like, you cannot have them in these high positions to be making decisions and all of a sudden they make a stupid mistake. Like, let's give away half our plot. No more longer the surprise element, because he was pretty adamant. We can't tell my mom. We can't let my mom find out. And then he just calls her and tells her.
Yeah, I didn't read that, so I can't even.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. And this is another thing. I hate it when they don't have the names of the characters in the blurb. I already have issues with remembering shit, and this does not help at all.
That's fair. Yeah, I just couldn't get behind it.
Yeah, so that's number 1. The second one.
Yeah. The second one is That Sick Love. Okay, hold on. Who is that by? Let me confirm this is correct. Yep. So this is That Sick Love by Jessie Hall. How far did you get into this book? Because I finished it. And I know you didn't.
I think I got to the part where he told her that he buried that dude in her backyard, and that was it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
And she said yes to go into the stupid dance with the one dude's son. And I'm just like, no. Just no. I can't.
So.
That was like what? I was at 10, 12 chapters in, and I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah. So I ended up finishing it, but I ended up skimming a lot of the last, probably at least third, if not half. And it's almost 500 pages, which did not need to happen at all. At all.
And so many people raved about this book being
raved about it.
Phenomenal. And I'm like, what part? Tell me what chapter and I'll read that.
Let me see if I have, hold on. I'm going to see if I have any highlights. I just clicked on the wrong thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I hated Bay Falls.
I can't even get the name right.
I can't even get the name right. Let's see. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, I have notes highlighted from that, Sick Love. I'm surprised. Oh, I have one. This is my one quote that I have.
I have 20.
It's 13%. Oh, shit. It's 13% of the way in the book.
Okay.
He knows the depths of my insanity. Serving time together will have you making friends you never thought you would. Keep a company with all the wrong people. The people that find your creative criminal and shine it into something more intriguing and more talented than ever before. Prison is an education, one I gained many skills from. That's the only quote I have.
So there were a lot of there's a ton of religious themes throughout the book, and it's twisted. Obviously, you're talking dark romance, so of course it's going to be twisted. And I had a hard time with it from the standpoint of it was, oh my gosh, I used bombastic language. There was so much bombastic language throughout the book that she would go into this long prose and I would come out of the story every single time because it didn't fit the story, the plot, the character, because you have all of this, he would take a verse and he would twist it for it to reference almost like it was him and she was supposed to he was supposed to be her god type of thing. And that, I was like, okay, whatever. But then to have all of the religious prose and that it was just so over the top. And so it tried to be intellectual and really all it did was bury the whole entire plot, the story, the characters under language that didn't need to be used. And again, my opinion. Now, spice. I enjoyed the spice quite a lot in this series.
I don't think I got anything with as far as I read. There was some tension and some angst, which obviously I'm an angst whore. But I think the last scene I was reading was, maybe I read a little bit further. They're playing Hunter, or he's got her running through the house and she's trying to get out. Which that was really hot, but it wasn't hot enough I was just like, ugh, whatever.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I put it down for a break and then nothing ever pulled me back to it. Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it got better after the first bit, but again, you have these long prose and you just get totally sucked out of this. Now, there were several, this was my favorite scene. They go to this, I think it was a club of some sort, and Arrow, and I really liked his name, hated her name. Hated her. I've never hated a character's name so much.
What was her name? I don't even remember.
Bryony. Briony. Yeah, I hated it. But they go to this club and she's being trained by him and unleashed by him. She's felt all of these dark urges throughout her life, but because she's been raised to be pure and virgin and, a religious icon, so to speak, in this cult, church, whatever, she's always pushed it to the side. She's always felt wrong and dirty and all these things, right? So he's teaching her that these urges are totally normal. It's fine, blah, blah, blah. So they go to this club, and this guy that Arrow knows, his name is Knox, and he disrespects Arrow in some way. I can't remember exactly. But this is when I fell in love with her, Bryony. She says, "I'm not missing anything, Knox," she says to him, her heel indenting the side of his face. And no one, especially not a strung out pimp from Detroit, disrespects Arrow in front of me. Now, open your mouth, she commands, pushing her pretty pink toenail against his lips, and show me how good you can suck. Knox replies, marry me? He asks abruptly against her lip. I think I'm in love with you.
See, oh my gosh, that sounds really great, but I do not want to read everything to get to that scene.
Like, that's page 305, chapter 41.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely
Like, at that point, you're well over halfway. Like, that was, like, seeing her step into this badass and take that power back after it being stripped from her for so many years was so cool. So cool. But, like, you didn't need over half the book to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
Like, what if you can get past the trigger, like, always, I'm always like, yes, this is a dark romance podcast, and you probably don't have a huge trigger list if you're listening to our podcast, but I always recommend, even still, double check your triggers. But if you can get past that, and then, like, the prose, there's some really, really fantastic scenes.
I guess if you're ever feeling up to it, you can just mark those pages. And I'll just read those pages. Probably not, because you'll probably never read it again. And I don't want to.
I'm never going to read it again. No,
In a perfect world.
Scenes.
Yeah, and then I'll just read those pages. That's all.
There you go.
Okay, so, and then the final book that we DNF'd was Slash or Pass by, is it Taylor Page? It's Tylor. Taylor?
Sure, Taylor.
Tylor. I think you finished it. I got to like the halfway point and I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. And then I just wanted to read about what the ritual is that they were preparing for. And then I read the ritual to the end. So I skipped like a chunk. Yeah. It was absolutely not. No.
I was so excited about this. We picked it right around Halloween. So I was very much in like a horror romance mood. And this was not it. Now... Now,
I love how you set that up. That was great. Sorry.
Now, here's the thing. If you want a parody of a Halloween horror romance, then this is the book for you. Like, if you don't want to go into this not taking it seriously, thinking it's the campy, it's like watching, God, what's a really bad horror movie? But you're just like, I can't stop watching it because it's just a train wreck. But it's kind of making me laugh. That's what this book was for me. I just kept getting to points where I'm like, this is so stupid, but I can't stop I can't stop reading this train wreck.
I feel like it had some really good, it had really good potential, especially with like the god and like, you know, what they were going for and why they were doing it and all the things. But I feel like everything else was just trash. And I only have one quote from this book.
Oh, I don't even know. What was it?
It is... Because there's rules, right?
Yeah.
So rule 20, Constantine. It's okay to fuck the final girl if she's your wife. There was just something about that I just really enjoyed.
That's hilarious. Oh, man.
I think when I was looking it up, everybody was like, oh, pay attention to the rules. What's your favorite rule? And I guess that's my favorite rule, even though there might be another one from the chunk that I missed. But I thought that was hilarious.
My favorite, I have a 6. I don't know what that is, so we'll go with 5. But my favorite is I think they're stalking this guy, and she's like, it's in her head. She's like, yells at dogs. Another red flag. It's like, yes, perfect.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's page 144. I did like this one because I just thought it was ironic. It's page 30. He says, the idea of poisoning someone keeps the dark thoughts away. He followed me back inside. I put the tea kettle on the stove and turned the burner on. I turned back to him and grinned. Exactly. I mean, hey, a girl's got to be prepared, right?
Yeah, she does. So those were the 3 that were our DNFs that didn't make it.
Yep.
Although Jen wins because maybe we might be tied because you finished both that Sick Love and Slasher Pass, and I finished all 3 in the trilogy, so I feel like we're tied.
Yeah, I'd say we're tied. Yeah, because you read the 3 and
say.
I read 3 and a little bit of 2 of the Bayflies. So
that was it. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's reflect back on this season's lineup. Jen and I were talking before we jumped on that we thought that we had more books for this lineup than we do, but apparently that's not the case. It just seems like a lot.
But I mean, you're talking like Sinners Duets 2 books, Madison
That's
Kate is
true.
4, Bonds That Tie is 5, 6,
6,
and Never King is 4. So, and Dead Soldiers is
6.
2.
Oh
so
wow, so we
that's probably
only
why it
had
feels-
yeah, that's why it feels like it's a lot.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so bottom of the list, I feel like our bottom is going to be the same.
My last one was Sunshine in the Stalker.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was no.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely last. I don't know if so we have 10 books. We're counting the series as one set. So we have 10 that we have to rank. So number 10 is Sunshine in the Stalker for both of us.
Yep.
What's your number 9?
I feel like we might be, well, I don't know. You shocked the hell out of me with your ranking, so maybe it's not going to be the same. I'm going to go with Perfect Strangers.
That's my number 9 too.
Okay. I thought it might be. Yeah. But yeah, just not okay at all.
Yeah, it's the middle part that I haven't quite got figured out yet in the ranking. But yeah, I knew that those two were definitely going to be at the bottom. But mostly Sunshine and the Stalker for sure was going to be 10 because there was no stalking and that pissed me off.
Yeah, agreed. Like he just comes up behind her or she comes up behind him.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, the middle's going to be hard. I've got my next one. The next one for me
Your number 8.
Easy. Yeah, and I bet you can figure out which one it is.
The Ritual.
Yeah, just fuck that book. Just listen, if Perfect Strangers and Sunshine and the Stalker weren't so bad, The Ritual would be at the bottom. 100%.
This is okay. I can't get my words out because I'm stuck. I have an idea of what my number 8 is, but I feel like I might change it after we do this ranking.
I feel like I might know what your number 8 is.
Do you want to take a guess?
Yeah. I think it's
okay.
Flip Trick.
No.
No? Okay, which one is it?
Dead Soldiers versus Taylors.
Really?
So when I'm thinking about ranking these, I'm thinking about them. Am I ever going to reread them?
Okay. All right. That's fair. Yeah.
That's how I'm like looking at these because some of them are really great. Some of them not. Some of them are in the middle. But I'm like, how
do you differentiate? Yeah.
Yeah. So my thought was, would I reread Dead Soldiers versus Taylors? And the answer is no.
No. Yeah. Agreed.
So what's your number 7? This is the 7 through 4 is where I'm kind of stuck at right now.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. I like Dead Soldiers for 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's not another one on there that I don't like more. Yeah. Final answer.
Oh man. So my number 7 that I have right now written down is Madison Kate.
Really?
Because out of all the Tate James I read, that one was my least favorite.
But I feel like that's not fair. We're comparing them to each other, not other books.
I know. But then I'm looking at everything else that's kind of left over, and I feel like I would reread all the other ones before I would read Madison Kate again.
I think we're only going to be off by 1, because, I mean, that would be my next. Yeah, that would be my next one, too.
See, my next one, or so that's your number 6?
Yeah.
So my next one is the Sinners Duet.
Yeah, I really like the Sinners Duet.
I know.
But I can't decide where it's going to land. Okay, hold on.
I had to write mine down.
Yeah, I'm going to have to write mine down too, because I'm getting lost. Not that that takes a whole lot. Okay, yeah. All right, I've landed.
Okay. So what was your 6? Your 6 was Madison Kate?
Yeah.
Okay, so my 6 was Sinners Duet. Okay, so what's your 5? Your number 5?
Hold on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Flip Trick.
Oh, okay. Mine was The Ritual. The Ritual's number 5 for me.
Did you ever read the other 2?
No. I'll get to them one day.
Yeah.
One day. Okay, so what's your number 4?
Never King, the Never King series.
That's my number 4 too.
No. Yeah, like I could see and especially because they are such short reads, potentially see myself reading it again. The spice was really good. I really like the story. Blah 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 blah.
Okay. And your number 3?
Sinner's Duet. I really liked it. I mean, it was in my. I think it was an honorable mention. Or maybe it was number 6 for my top reads of 2023.
I think it was your number.
I feel like
6.
I had to throw in a dark romance in there, and I really liked it. I love their story. I love their relationship.
So, my number 3 is Flip Trick.
I am shocked that is as high up on your list as it was, because I feel like you did not like it at all.
I didn't, but then I'm looking at everything else, and I would reread Flip Trick probably before I ever read The Vicious Kings, and I would reread it before The Ritual or any of the other ones that are behind it, because out of all of them, that one had the most angst. And of course, I would flip through, and Flip Trick, I would skip the parts that I didn't like that pissed me off, and then imagine the ending that you and I created, and then I'd be happy. It was really hard. Like I said, like 6 through 3, like was really, like I didn't... Maybe 3 and 6 might flip. Maybe Sinner's Duet would be my 3rd, and then Flip Trick would be my 6th. I'm not sure. I just knew what my last 2 were going to be, and I knew what my top 2 were going to be. That was it. Everything else, I'm just winging it.
Yeah, top 2 and top 3, or top 2 and bottom 3 were easy, but yeah, everything else is more difficult.
Yeah, so I feel like this is where we're going to be backwards, maybe, on the top 2. What's your number 2?
Well, dang. Yeah. Yeah, I think we might be backwards. But I would also be totally okay with the way you rank it too. So my number 2 is Bonds.
And my number 2 is Butcher and Blackbird.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is fair. I feel like that's almost, and I know we're ranking the books from the season, but I feel like that's almost like apples and oranges. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
In a real world scenario, they'd be tied.
Oh, I agree. Because they would be in their own categories.
Yes.
I agree with that 100%. But I have reread Bonds at least 3 times just this year in and of itself. I've only read Butcher and Blackbird once.
I've only read it. I've only read both of them once. But
yeah,
I have the audio of Butcher and Blackbird, and I've started it. I just haven't finished it yet.
So that wasn't too bad. We had a good season 1. Season 2 is going to be really great too.
I'm so excited for season 2. I mean, I've loved this so much, and I'm so excited to do more with it in the coming season, because my life went off the rails for the last 3 months, I feel like. 2 months, 2.5 months, whatever it was. So I'm really excited to be able to like really dive into things for season 2.
Shall we close out?
Yeah. Okay,
listeners, why don't you go ahead and rank seasons 1 with us and tell us what your favorite is. Okay, readers, and where does the darkness rate with you? Thank you for joining us on the journey into the shadows of love, where dark romance stories come to light.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Bones of the Story as much as we did. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your feedback means the world to us.
And to stay updated on all things dark romance, follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
We'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ideas, or even your own dark romance stories with us. Drop us a line at bonesofthestory@gmail.com.
Remember, our next tantalizing episode is just around the corner, so keep your hearts open and your senses sharp.
Until then, embrace the darkness and let the stories continue to stir your deepest desires.
This is Misty
and Jen
signing off from Bones of the Story.